Welcome to Sports Static. Guys, it's Sunday football. Get ready. Sunday football show. Sports Static Joe, what is going on?
What's going on, John? I'm doing great, and I'll tell you what, this week is a very exciting week of matchups. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it is an exciting and tough week for a lot of these teams this week. When you look at some of these matchups, there's some hard picks out there today, and there's no telling which way some of these games are going to go. They're really hard to pick this week.
You're right, John. They're real hard to pick, and we have an exciting matchup: Rams-Atlanta. Jalen Ramsey's back. I can't wait to see that one.
Oh yeah, that's going to be an exciting matchup. Jalen Ramsey's back isn't what? His back's not hurt no more?
I guess not, John. But he's going to be going against the best receiver in football, Julio Jones, so we'll see what happens.
That whole back thing and that whole way these players strong arm the league to get out of a place they're not happy at, I don't like that one bit. So the guy comes back with his hurt back. I don't know. To me, you start doing stuff like that, you're jinxing yourself in some way. There's some bad mojo about that. And what kind of a message are you sending out to the league and to the young players that are coming in, that if you don't like the team you're on, you just don't play, you wait to get traded?
Exactly, John. And I think that bad mojo's gonna, and I think it's gonna bite him in the butt, to be honest. I think Jalen Ramsey's gonna get burned today.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
So you're saying my man's gonna get burned?
I think he is, John. I think Julio Jones gets at least one touchdown today.
Yeah, well, you're saying he's going to get at least one.
At least one, maybe two. I just think, Ramsey's been out for a little bit, and Julio's been ready. And Julio Jones, best receiver in football, I believe.
I'd like to see him get a little bit more than one. Joe, let's talk about that Thursday night football game. What'd you think about that Thursday night football game?
Disappointed?
Well, first of all, we had a major scare there because I don't care if you're a Chiefs fan or not. If you're a football fan, the last thing that you want to see is one of the best quarterbacks we've seen on the field go down with injury, because you want to see, this is what you watch football for. You watch to see the best perform at their best, highest level. So a little bit of a scare there, but it seems like he's going to be okay in a few weeks.
Yep, Patrick Mahomes will be back in 3 weeks. We're going to see how the Chiefs do without him. I'm going to make a bold prediction right here, John. I think they drop 3 straight.
You think they drop 3? You're saying KC drops 3 straight with more.
Look at their schedule, John. They have a tough schedule coming up. I think they play Oakland, they play Green Bay, and they play another good team. So I do believe they drop three straight. Matt Moore, he did what he could do, and that Denver defense, stopped them as long as they could. But that Denver offense just looked not good, man.
I'm not so sure they dropped 3 straight.
Bold prediction.
Okay, it is a bold prediction. I'm thinking that Andy Reid gets a little bit more clever with that, so we may see just a total. When you're a good coach, you coach with what you have. Yep. So, to me, it's more about, I think Andy Reid is going to find the way to win. Ian's on the show. Hey, guys, thanks for the Denver pick. I know. What do you got to say about that?
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I mean, you were right. I mean, that Denver defense, it did as well as it could. And it's just the Denver offense. You're right, Ian. You called it. They played terrible. And with Mahomes' injury, I thought they were going to come back, but it didn't happen.
Dana joined the show. Welcome, Dana, again to the show. I hope you got your appetizers ready. Ian says, I think 1 and 2 in the next 3 games, Joe, for the KC.
Yeah, it could. I mean, Ian, I think they dropped 3 straight, but 1 and 2, that could be right as well.
Brandon Robertson's joining the stream. Brandon is saying 49ers or Patriots. Well, Brandon, we're going to get into that in a little bit here. Joe, you can still go ahead and give it up, Joe.
Oh, man. I want the 49ers. I'll tell you that. I don't like the Patriots, but Oh man, it's real tough to go against Tom Brady. I'd take the Patriots, but I'd want the 49ers to win.
And I said Brandon, it's Braden.
Braden.
Sorry about that, Braden. 49ers, Patriots. You know, what a
That's tough.
what a matchup, though. How fun would it be? How much fun would it be to see Garoppolo
Yeah.
against the Patriots? How fun would that be, Joe?
I'd love to see that, man. I mean, Garoppolo's been under Brady's knowledge, and, you know, it really depends who wins that game. I think it comes down to defense, and the 49ers love to run the ball. That's why Tevin Coleman, you got to start Tevin Coleman in fantasy. He's been doing great. It's a really tough matchup, but personally, I would go with the Patriots.
Good morning from Dana to the Sports Static Show here. Guys, I'm going to do my best to keep up with you today. We're without producer Dave in the studio today, so I'm going to be looking at all of the posts coming in on more than one platform. I'm be looking at actually 3 platforms. You guys will have to bear with me today while I make this work. So anyway, with that Thursday night football game, we saw Patrick, my homie Mahomes, go down with injury, which scared everybody. I mean, it was a little less scary when you seen him walk off the field, but you guys know how that goes. You can walk off the field, get your MRI, and have something torn. So, and in comes Matt Moore, who really was a scout coming into this season. He was a scout. So he hasn't seen any playtime and/or action. And, Joe, you just don't think that Matt Moore is going to be able to get it done in the next 3 games.
Look, man, I mean, he might. I don't think he will, to be honest with you. He threw 117 yards. He threw a touchdown. A lot of people were talking about McCole Hardman. He got a touchdown. I said to start him. He did well. Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to rely on McCoy and Andy Reid's, like you said, John. He's going to have to pull something out, and I think we're going to see different offensive schemes from the Chiefs.
I'm looking forward to see what Mr. Andy Reid does in this situation. Back to producer John is right, Ian. I'll make it happen today, man. I'll keep up with you guys the best I can. Just bear with me. I'll tell you what we're going to do with no further ado. We are going to, and Braden, if you're watching here, this is where we go into the fantasy pick with standard league type stuff and the DraftKings. So with no further ado, let's go in to our fantasy segment, fantasy pick of the week. Here it is, Joe, our fantasy picks of the week. And hey, guys, you know how it goes. You win some, you lose some. Don't take it too personal. I mean, we don't need any death threats coming in the mail now, do we, Joe?
I hope not. I really don't.
All right, so with the fantasy stuff, typically what we do, we will talk some standard league stuff, but Joe's in a few different leagues that he can talk to you about that. What I like to do is I like to go ahead and I'm doing my draft pick, okay? What I want to do is I always want to fill mine out on the show. So that way I'm saying exactly what I'm doing, how it's going. I'll even put it up there for you guys when you see it. So just pay attention to that. But first and foremost, Joe, let's talk a little bit of the standard fantasy stuff. Sitting them or starting them, Joe. Talk to me.
All right, so a must start. Any quarterback going against Miami Dolphins is a must start. Josh Allen is a must start today. He has 1,122 yards, 5 touchdowns. Definitely a must start against the Miami Dolphins. That's an easy win for the Bills. Bills go 5-1. Another must start, I would start the whole Jaguars team. Going against the 0-6 Bengals, you got DJ Chark, must start. He's an emerging wide receiver 1. And then you got Leonard Fournette, obviously a running back 1. 115 carries. He gets a ton of volume in this offense. I'd even start Minshew, to be honest. Minshew's been doing pretty well. Another must start. The Lions and the Vikings. Big game. I would start Matthew Stafford. They're throwing the ball even more in this offense, John. And I'd also start Kerryon Johnson. So, and you know the guy I love, and I know the guy you love as well, John. Dalvin Cook and Stephon Diggs. I'd start them. So next game, I mean, there's a lot of starters, guys. Josh Jacobs, I love Josh Jacobs. I think he's an emerging running back. He'll be top 5 running back next year. I really believe it. Or top 10, definitely. He might be top 10 now. So as we move down the list, I like Deshaun Watson against the Colts. Deshaun Watson throws so many yards. He gets so much volume in this offense, as well as Marlon Mack. Marlon Mack's a must start as well, guys. 101 carries this season with 470 yards and 2 touchdowns. Definitely a must start.
I like it.
Yeah, you like it, John.
I do like it. There's a couple of things that I'm concerned this week. Danis comes up and says, "Can you dig it, Diggs?" You know, I like that.
I do.
Can you dig it, Diggs? I can dig it. Ian says, first, before I jump to that, I want to go back to Braden, who had a question here. Derrick Henry or Chris Carson?
Oh.
Standard league.
That's tough.
That is
That's
tough.
really tough. I'd start both of them because Chris Carson gets a ton of volume. Derrick Henry, I mean, Matt Patricia, you know, I'd like to see Derrick Henry get the ball more. The thing about Derrick Henry, he gets a lot of touchdowns in the red zone and the goal line, but I'd go Chris Carson personally.
Chris Carson, you heard it right there. Chris Carson. Let me check a couple things here, guys. I'm going to be bouncing around on you a lot here. Bouncing around a lot. Okay, so part of the thing that you want to think about here, and Ian, what's it, Ian? That's his name. Anyway, Joe, with the Dalvin Cook thing, I'm a little concerned.
Okay.
Going up against that defense today,
You're right.
that Detroit defense, I'm a little concerned for Dalvin Cook going up against that Detroit defense. And if I come on here and I look, he's at an $8,000 price tag against on the DraftKings. So I am a little bit worried on Dalvin Cook. Now, you want to talk about a running back that I got my eyes on? Fournette. Going up against that Cincinnati defense, which is like shit on the bottom of your shoe. Okay? Shit is not a bad word, guys. It actually means ship high in transit. Cincinnati defense is horrible. Fournette touching the ball and getting that ball. I'm telling you guys, he's going to get it in the air and he's going to get it handed to him. Joe, what do you think about that, Fournette?
I think that's a great pick. He's definitely a top running back in fantasy this week. Yeah, that Bengals defense, they are like ship high in transit, John. I mean, it is bad. That defense is terrible. I feel bad for the Red Rocket Andy Dalton because I am a big fan of Andy Dalton.
You're a big fan of Andy Dalton?
Yeah, I like Andy Dalton.
I like the Red Rocket too. Let me see. Of course, Dana says Chark the Shark. And Ian says Kittles, Hawk, Kerryon, and Chubb, and the Seahawks D is my must start.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Kittles, Hawk. I like Hawk.
Yep.
Kerryon. Man, you got a couple there that you could stack on that one. Chubb. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a good team.
That is a good team. The problem here that I want to see, though, if I can check real quick, okay? Let me check real quick here. Who are the Browns? The Browns are on a bye week.
The Browns are on a bye week, and hey, they come off a win. I think Baker's getting more confident. I believe that offense is doing better. The thing is, the big thing I don't like about that team, I'm not sure about the coach. The coach's decisions are real kind of weird to me. That draw on 4th and 9, I'll never forget that. But yeah, I think they're coming into their own, man. Odell's getting the ball more. Jarvis is getting the ball. The tight end's looking good. Nick Chubb's looking good as well. So I think the Browns are doing well.
Well, the bye week for the Buccaneers, bye week for the Tampa, the Browns. Who else has got a bye week this week? I was looking at it earlier, and then I forgot it. And you know what I didn't do? I didn't write it down. But I'll get it to you guys in a little bit here.
Well, we got the Steelers and the Panthers as well.
Right. Okay, there you go, guys. You got the Steelers with the bye week. You got the Panthers with the bye week. You got the Buccaneers with the bye week. And you got the Browns with the bye week. So there is your bye week. Joe, let's bounce back real quick here to quarterbacks.
Yep.
Quarterbacks for starting here. Brush over a couple of those quarterbacks again for me, will you, Joe?
Yeah, so as I said, any quarterback playing against the Miami Dolphins is a must-start. Josh Allen's a must-start. He probably has a couple rushing touchdowns, maybe throws a couple as well. Another must-start, I think you got to start Matthew Stafford. The Vikings defense is good. I'm not going to lie, but, Matthew Stafford's throwing the ball a lot more in this Matt Patricia offense. Look for Kenny Golladay to have a big game as well. So,
nice.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson, I love Deshaun Watson. I'm a big fan of Deshaun Watson. I think he has a big game against the Colts. He's throwing for, as I said, 1,644 yards. He has a lot of touchdowns as a quarterback. He has 12 touchdowns. So this Cardinals-Giants game, I like Danny Jones and I like Kyler Murray. I'd start both of them. Both of these defenses aren't very good, so I would start Kyler and I would start Danny Jones. Let's see. Oh, yeah, you got to start Jimmy G today as well against the Redskins.
Jimmy G against the Redskins is a good one.
Yeah, and it'll be snowing there. It's a snow game in Washington today. So, let's go to some quarterbacks I would sit. I would sit Phillip Rivers. I don't think Phillip Rivers has been doing that well as of late. I like Phillip Rivers, but against this Titans defense, which is, it's decent defense, I wouldn't start Phillip Rivers. Another person I wouldn't start Teddy Bridgewater against the Bears. Bears defense, one of the best defenses in the NFL. Would not start Teddy Bridgewater. And Drew Brees is coming back in, not next week, but I think in a couple weeks. I wouldn't start Dak Prescott either against the Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to run all over Dallas today. So those are my picks.
Those are good picks. Ian saying to take Wilson against Baltimore. And I'll tell you what, Ian.
I like it.
It's actually pretty good. But you got to understand something here. Okay? Wilson's great coming outside of the pocket. One of the highest passer percentages outside of the pocket this season. So Seattle's got that weak defensive backs that teams are having success against in passing. So Lamar could have a good game in the air against Seattle. Russell Wilson's weak secondary for slot receivers, okay? He's going to be targeting that, so that is a good idea because Russell Wilson, as I said, rolling out, he has a high quarterback percentage and completion ratio when he's rolling out, which you guys know he does. And he also has a sidearm throw. He can throw it with both hands if he wants to. So slot receivers, okay? Baltimore's defense is giving up the fourth most yards. Baltimore's defense is giving up the fourth most in defenses to slot receivers. So think about that. Think about it. If you're liking Russell Wilson, stack them up. Start stacking these guys up with T. Lockett, okay? Lockett, his receiver there, think about it. He's going to get some touches. Joe?
I completely agree, John. I think Tyler Lockett, just look at his statistics. 35 receptions, 454 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He's a great start, and I think he'd probably be a budget slot receiver for you guys.
Right.
And another budget guy, DK Metcalf. I think DK Metcalf is a, athletic monster, and he can run a straight route. His route running is a little awkward at times if you actually watch him, but he's fast, man. So I think DK Metcalf's a great budget receiver. But I do agree with you, Ian. I think Russell Wilson is MVP quarterback, and I think the Seahawks take it at home.
and it's going to be a good game. And it's crazy that we're saying that because of the way that you see the way that Baltimore runs the ball. I mean, Jackson, what he does on his feet. I mean, Lamar Jackson on his feet for Baltimore, he's getting more yards as a quarterback on his feet than any quarterback has in the NFL since the early 70s. That's right, guys. I just said that. Since the early 70s. We're talking about more than what used to be the Randall Cunningham, more than what we've seen as the Michael Vick, okay? When I'm talking, I'm not just picking out a couple for any reason. I'm talking in particular some that really launched that position as a dual threat. And the first one that I really seen that did that I knew in my era was Randall Cunningham, and then again in Michael Vick to do that. But for Lamar Jackson to be doing that right now, I don't remember if it was 74 or 70 still. Anyway, you look at that, to be going 40-something years back in football history, that he's leading those stats as a quarterback running the ball, that's pretty amazing, Joe.
It is pretty amazing. I mean, you look at this guy's rushing stats. He has 460 yards on the ground. That's almost as much as Chris Carson, who has 504.
Right.
I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
He has 2 rushing touchdowns this season. I mean, he's an amazing quarterback, and that's the reason why Baltimore is 4-2.
And it's going to be interesting on the game plan here. I mean, that game is going to be interesting. That game plan for the game for Seattle is going to be huge, okay? Now, let's see how he can take the 12th man on the field. Everybody knows what it's like when you go into Seattle. You go into Seattle, it's a different atmosphere. You sometimes have to do hand signals, tap underneath the center's bootay to get the ball hiked to you because you can't hear. And if you're trying to call audibles, you might as well get ready and be prepared to start going to hand signals for those audibles because it's going to be loud in there. The 12th man is a factor in Seattle. Everybody that goes to Seattle knows this and has known that for years. It's going to be a tough atmosphere for that guy, Joe.
I agree with you, John, and I want everyone to watch this game, and I want you guys to look at Bobby Wagner, because I believe Bobby Wagner is going to be the QB spy. Him and KJ Wright are going to be QB spies on Lamar Jackson, so we're going to have to see how Lamar does against the 2 top linebackers in the NFL.
Here we go right here from Jake Coughlin. Flex spots. He wants to know about a flex spot. Latavius Murray or Jimmy Graham? Great question, Joe.
Man, that is a great question. Personally, Well, that's a tough question. Personally, I would go Latavius Murray just because he's a running back, and running backs have the tendency to get more points than tight ends. We've seen Jimmy Graham literally put up goose eggs for me. I have him on one of my fantasy teams. He put up goose eggs for me a couple times. He is a red zone threat, and Aaron Rodgers does look for him. But man, sometimes he gets doubled in the red zone. So personally, I would go Latavius Murray because he gets more touches and because of his touchdown dependency.
Nice. I like it. And that's a tough one for me. That is a tough one for me, and I'm not so sure on that one, but Murray does get a lot of touches. So, I mean, if you're looking for more opportunities that could turn into points for you, then obviously you're going to take your chances on that one. Looking through some of these flex situations here. You guys will see as I go on and I run mine out on what I pick. And be careful if you copy what I do, because I actually sucked it up pretty good on my last one. So be careful. Watch what kind of money you're wagering if you're taking my picks. It could be dangerous for you. Talk a little bit more about wide receivers,
right,
Joe.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys a wide receiver that's slept on, and he's just emerging on the scene, and his name's Terry McLaurin, and he's a wide receiver for the Redskins. I don't think many people are playing this guy, and look at his stats. 23 receptions, 408 yards, 5 touchdowns. I think you got to start this guy at flex. I mean, this guy's probably a low budget.
Who is it again, Joe?
Terry McLaurin, wide receiver for the Washington Redskins.
Nice.
Yeah, so I like this guy. Another guy I'd go with Will Fuller. I think Will Fuller is a good flex to start with Deshaun Watson. They air the ball out a lot. You know, at 33 receptions, 444 yards, 3 touchdowns. I think he's a must-start at flex. Another guy I'm looking at, I like Edelman. I like Julian Edelman against the Jets. I think Edelman is going to do pretty well. That secondary is not that good. Yeah, I like Edelman. You know, those are my flex wide receivers.
I like it. Let me catch up with the comments here. Ian, it's hard for me to give any Raven props, but he is a whole new type of quarterback, but he's still a Raven. True statement coming from a true Steelers fan in Ian. And Dana says that she had McLaurin last week, and she's got her thumb up right there on that one, so that must have been good. Paul Varlis. Am I saying that right, Paul? Looking good, Joey, he says. You look like me when I was younger.
That's my uncle.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Paul, what's up? So he's saying that you guys look alike.
Cool.
He threw the younger thing in there, Joe.
I like it.
And Joe's over here making like funny faces like, Paul, you're crazy. Uncle Paul.
Yeah.
Paul, you're crazy, me looking like you, I said. Ian, Kerryon Johnson will get the ball a lot this week. What do you think about Ian's statement on that, Joe? Kerryon Johnson's going to get the ball a lot this week. I think he's right.
I think he's right, too. I think Kerryon Johnson has a great game.
Yeah, he could have a very good game. You know, anytime that Detroit's playing and they actually got the passing game going, which they could very well do with having a quarterback like Stafford, then running the ball is a huge part of that game. And to me, Detroit running the ball and controlling the clock, having, you know, just because you have a great quarterback doesn't mean that you pass all the time. It really doesn't, because if you've got a great quarterback and you can establish the run and you can control the clock and keep your offense and do those long drives down the field, controlling game possession, then you got this great quarterback that at any given time can throw the dime. I mean, to me, it frustrates me so much when you see these good quarterbacks that are throwing the ball 40-something times and they've got no run game. So what happens to an offense like that when they face a great pass rush with great defensive backs? It's going to be trouble. And you see it all the time, Joe.
Yeah, you're right. They're going to fumble the ball a lot, and they're going to throw a lot of interceptions. But I agree with you, Ian. I think, I think Kerryon Johnson has a huge game against the Vikings, and I think Matthew Stafford has a big game as well.
Let's welcome Jesse Torres to the show. Jesse saying Hunter Henry or Darren Waller.
Oh.
Hunter Henry or Darren Waller.
I like both of them, to be honest. Let me check Waller's stats real quick. So Darren Waller has 37 receptions for 359 yards. I like him, but I would go Hunter Henry just because he is coming off an injury, and Phillip Rivers loves Hunter Henry. We see him in practice all the time, and there's a good connection there. I like Hunter Henry. I would start him, but I think either of them is a good start.
You heard it right there. Either of them is a good start. Start them both. Get one of them in the flex. You can do that. So there you go, Jesse. Ian, Hawk gets the ball short. Kerryon mid to long. Going to be a good throwing game for Detroit. Ian, man, Ian, I like how you're like pulling up the back end here for Detroit Lions, man. I appreciate that enthusiasm right there. Dana's still going Minnesota. We're going to talk. Dana with a capital D. We're going to talk about you and this Minnesota thing. I don't know with this Cousins guy, okay? Is that what you're thinking, Cousins? I don't know. But anyway, Dana, you still have time to change your mind. So if you decide, you know what, Detroit, Ford Field, yeah, I think I'll change my mind. Guys, what I wanted to point out to you here where I already talked to you a little bit about Fournette. Fournette goes off today. We know he's going to go off today because he's playing Cincinnati, okay? Minshew's going to have a day today, okay? So think about this. If I go over here and I just check out, and I want to look at, try to look at with Minshew and the situation here. If I find my stuff here, there we go. Okay, so guys, if you're doing DraftKings, okay, obviously you guys know you got Deshaun Watson sitting up there. He's going to go off too. He's going to have a great game. Lamar Jackson's going to have a game today. I mean, the two of them right there, they're going to get points. They're going to get them. But if you're trying to find your points somewhere else, and so you have a little extra money as you're going through and you're setting your lineup here on DraftKings, I want you to consider something. Consider something like potentially a Minshew that could really go off today against a horrible defense, okay? To where you have more money, okay? And it depends on what DraftKings lineup you're playing. But if you're dealing with a $50,000 salary, like with the ones that I played, think about that, because if you've got a little extra money to spend on your flex guy, to spend on some, a higher running back or receiver or something like that, you want to really think about that. And with me, what I'm going to do is I am looking to a Minshew today, and I'll tell you why. Because I can pick up Minshew for $5,400 in DraftKings today. And if I went for a top quarterback like a Watson or a Jackson, even a Murray and Wilson, I mean, you're going from $6,600 out of Wilson to $7,000 to Watson, okay? I'm saving a substantial amount of money that I can use anywhere else. And I already know, Joe, that Minshew and probably Chark are going to go off. And so if I decide to really make a move here on one of my lineups and I stack them, and I got Fournette, I got Minshew, and I got Chark, I'm feeling like I'm going to get some good points, Joe.
Definitely. You have to start that Jaguars offense. The Jaguars offense against the Bengals. The Bengals secondary is terrible. I mean, I think they give up. They're definitely top 3 in yardage given up. You got to start DJ Chark. I'd start D.D. Westbrook as well. And Leonard Fournette is a must start. Minshew would be a good start too.
Couldn't agree more, guys. And here's the thing. And now on the flip side of this, with this game, here's the flip side of this. The Bengals, okay? They're horrible defense. But if you guys pay attention, the Rocket still has an arm and can still do some quick damage in a short amount of time, okay? The Bengals, Tyler Boyd, okay? He's averaging 10 targets per game. That's 3rd in the NFL. You heard me. 3rd in the NFL. Andy Dalton is the only quarterback with 35-plus pass attempts in each of the 6 games. You want cheap players here? Think about what I'm telling you there. Because if you're going on that wide receiver and you're going Boyd, okay, on the wide receiver, you can pick him up for $5,600. Not too cheap, but 10 targets? How many catches do you think he's going to get out of there? I mean, and then look at Andy Dalton, guys. Andy Dalton's throwing the ball 35-plus times in each of every one of the games that he's played this season. There's some points going to stack up there. You just got to look at that matchup right there. And how is that secondary, Joe? Can you tell me anything about that secondary for the Jaguars? They just lost. We haven't seen him because of his sore back, but we know we don't have Ramsey there anyway now.
No, you don't have Ramsey there, but, I mean, they do take away the ball a lot. I like Bouye on the one side. I like their safeties. Jalen Ramsey, that's a huge loss, and that's why I think the Rams are going to be very good. Their D-line is good, solid D-line. And I think they destroy the Bengals. I really do. So, good. They have a good defense.
Yeah. They do have a good defense, so it's going to be interesting. Let me fly over. I got to keep up, guys. Remember, I'm going to try my best to keep up with you. Here we go. Dana's chiming in. Okay, so Jesse Torres came back with another one. Dana replied to me about the Viking things and says, but I like that Stafford. You better like that Stafford. I tell you right now, you put Stafford on any top team through the last 10 seasons, okay? Let's say 8 seasons. And you're talking about a champion caliber football team, okay? You name any of the teams in the last 10 years, let's say 8 years that won the Super Bowl, okay? Any of them. And you take the quarterback out and put Stafford in there, and you would have got the same result. I'm telling you right now. That's how good I feel Stafford is. And there's a lot of Detroit fans feel different about me because they suffer these losses all the time. But you got to understand a lot of times, guys, when you watch those games, it's the fourth quarter, last possession. You finally get the lead. It isn't any reason because of the fact you got a quarterback in there trying to do everything he can for you, take chances, and he has to, so he can win some football games for you guys. You got a horrible defense. You've had it. Things have changed in Detroit. Now, if we can just find a little bit more money from the Fords, okay, to start paying a little extra money for these referees, we might actually pay a little bit more money than the opposing teams are paying to get them damn calls against the referees, I said, Joe.
I know, man. I was real disappointed in that because the Lions should have won that game. I still have them winning the division, and I got them beating the Vikings. So I think Stafford has a huge game, and I hope the refs don't mess this one up.
I hope so, too. Jesse Torres, flex. He's talking flex, Joe. Okay? Devontae Freeman.
Okay.
Kelvin Ridley. Kerryon Johnson. PPR. I can run them for you one more time.
Yeah, PPR, I like Kerryon Johnson.
Kerryon Johnson?
Yeah, he gets so many touches in this offense. He gets so much volume. It's really crazy. If you actually watch the game, Kerryon Johnson gets a lot of touches and he gets some touchdowns as well. I'd start Calvin Ridley too because it's PPR. So you get points based off receptions, and Calvin Ridley gets a lot of them. And Matt Ryan likes Calvin Ridley. So I'd start either. I like Devontae Freeman as well. I mean, he's really emerging, but,
he's starting to heat up.
Yeah, he is starting to heat up, but the Rams' D-line is good. So,
that's the
Donald,
problem. You're right, Joe. And that's the problem he's going to face this week. Okay, Danny Villarreal. Man, these names are getting me today. Danny Villarreal. I hope I'm saying that right, Danny. I don't know, but welcome to the show, Danny, Jesse, a couple of you other guys that joined here, Ian, Dana, Paul. Keep them coming, guys. I like it. It's keeping me busy, and that's what I need today. I need to keep busy. Okay, Danny, Evan Ingram or Hunter Henry? Evan. Evan Ingram or Hunter Henry? Joe?
I can tell you who has a lot more upside. Evan Ingram has a lot more upside.
I think so.
Yeah, if you watch that Bucs game, Evan Ingram, he runs a 4.40. That's how fast this guy is. That's how athletic he is at tight end. I would start him because they're going against the Arizona Cardinals, and I think he's going to get a lot of targets, so I would start Evan Ingram.
I would too, and we're not saying anything that Henry doesn't get it. Henry's as big as he is, you would expect a little bit more than 3.7, 3.9 yards a carry. You would expect a little bit more from him. And I said it, and I felt bad after I said it, Joe, that it looked to me like Henry was, kind of a lot of times falling down instead of keeping those legs pumping. With a big guy like that, you want to see those legs keep moving. And it's like when he gets the hits, I watch specific things like this, guys, and I will watch a play, and when I watch a play, I may only watch the defensive end for that play. I may only watch the tackle for that play. I may only watch a tight end. I want to see what he's doing, how he's handling a matchup, if he's blocking, if he's going out. I like watching these guys and what they do, and like more than anything, what I pay attention to is if they give up on plays. And I hate to bring apples and oranges here where you're talking football and basketball. But you see this a lot when you see the great players in basketball. Yeah. It's the ones who don't give up on a play. It's what they do when they don't have the ball is where you see they excel because of what they're doing when they don't have the ball. So that's what I look at, and I just happen to see that with Henry. I don't see those legs that keep on pumping. And when you see look at what Tyreek Hill did, okay, where he jumped up last week. He jumped up in the air like 6 feet in the air. His feet were like 4 feet off the ground, guys. Got the ball. He had 2 defensive backs on him, and that's not giving up on a play. And he put the ball in the end zone, Joe.
Yeah, I love watching Tyreek Hill. And the thing about Hunter Henry, he has so much upside. He could be so good. And you are right. He does, after contact, he just kind of goes down. You're right. He doesn't chug those legs as he should. But he could be so good.
And you never know when you're going to see that greatness come out of him. And Dana says I'm putting a few different lines in the water today. Dana, are you going fishing today? You're putting a DraftKings lineup in, and then are you going fishing today, Dana? You're going fishing today. Jesse Torres says Carson Wentz or Jacoby Brissett. That's a great question.
That is a good question.
A great question, and it's a tough one, Jesse, because Carson Wentz isn't the same Carson Wentz I've seen in the past. It doesn't seem to me. Little bit of a great quarterback, don't get me wrong, but not those sparks of greatness that we've been seeing. Jacoby Brissett, I mean, he's doing his job. That's a tough one. Joe, what do you think?
That is a really tough question. That's a good question. I would go Carson Wentz just because I think the Eagles are going to run all over the Cowboys. I think Alshon Jeffrey is going to have a big game as well. I would go Wentz. I mean, you see Jacoby Brissett, he nickels and dimes, so you're not going to see, big plays from Jacoby Brissett. I think Carson Wentz is going to air the ball out a little bit more, and you're going to see more big plays. So, you definitely have more upside with Carson Wentz. I would go Wentz.
A rare thing happening. Ian is disagreeing with Joe Knows. Ian is saying that he'd go Brissett on this, and hey, it's a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough question.
And you just don't know which one of these quarterbacks are going to go off today, but that's actually a tough one. Man, I got to find, guys, I'm trying to keep going. I'm telling you, I'm trying to keep this going, but I also got to be checking my other stuff going on here because we actually, boom, let me go over here and look at this. There it is. Okay, nothing's happening there. Sorry, guys. I got to keep on checking my stuff because there's a lot going on today in the comments, and I want to make sure I'm getting all you guys. So, anyway, moving right along here, Joe. Since we didn't really talk too much, aside from taking questions, Joe, I want to go into your flex positions, Joe.
Okay, so my flex positions, as I said, I would go Will Fuller. I think Will Fuller, the thing is, Will Fuller has burners. He's very, very fast. And we see it sometimes. He just gets those, 50-yard, 40-yard bomb, 60-yard bombs for a touchdown. So I'd go Will Fuller at flex. Terry McLaurin, as I said, I'd go him at flex. Emerging wide receiver for Washington Redskins. So another flex option, I would go. Another sleeper running back, I'd go David Montgomery because the Bears do run the ball a lot because Trubisky has been struggling in that offense. So I would go David Montgomery, 225 yards, 69 carries, 2 touchdowns this season. I would definitely go Montgomery.
That's a really good sleeper, Joe.
Yeah. So another sleeper, as I said before, I'd go Tyler Lockett. That's the number one. That might not even be a flex. So let's go somewhere else right quick. I'm looking right now. Let's go. I like Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp's a good one because he gets a ton of reception. So if you're going PPR, if you're in a PPR league, Cooper Kupp's a must start at flex. 522 yards, 45 receptions, 4 touchdowns. Definitely a must start. So, and as I said, you got to go Jaguars, DJ Chark and DD Westbrook, and those are the flexes that I would start.
I like it, Joe.
Yeah.
I like it. Let me get back over to my guys over here that are commenting a lot today and see what's going on. Ian said that he's with Joe. He's been calling Detroit to the north since July. Since July, that's huge.
Yeah, that's huge.
You must have known their defense was ready to come alive, Ian. That's huge. Minshew's stash is worth $1,500 on its own. That's from Ian.
That's funny.
Moving right along here, Dana. Zane joined the show. Zane, welcome to the show. Dana, wishing I was fishing. No, I just meant a few different lineups. When you're talking dropping lines in the water, Dana, I'm talking fishing. And she also says she agrees with Mr. Ian on what, the stash? I'm wondering, on the stash? Danny comes back and he wants to know thoughts on Devin Singletary. Thoughts on Devin Singletary?
Yeah, Singletary, he gets volume in the offense. I'm not gonna lie. You know, he's good. The thing is, you know, it's kind of like a, you know, I like him. I do really like him. I think he's fast, he's agile, but he's kind of like a backup kind of. He does split the offense. You know, offensively just split the carries and everything. So I like him though. I like him. We're gonna have to see how he emerges in the offense, but I do like him.
Very good. There you go, Danny, on that one. Guys, keep them coming. This is what I like. I like when you guys are keeping active, and it's a good Sunday morning. So what I want you guys to do, everybody commenting, to give me some ideas, to give Joe some ideas. I want to know the appetizer of choice today. Your appetizer of choice today, and the favorite beverage to go with that appetizer. Joe, what's your appetizer today?
I'm usually the wings, but I think I'm gonna go the nachos today with some dip, John. Yeah.
Nachos with dip.
Sounds good, right?
Well, it depends on the dip. It depends on the dip you're using.
Probably some cheese, John.
The cheese, okay. Mild, hot. Talk to me.
I like hot. You know I like that hot. I get everything hot.
Hot. I like it hot, too. Pretty much everything I do, I put a little kick and a little bit of spice into it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm even going to get a chance to do my appetizers today. So if I do, though, I'm going to see what we get here with the comments and see, you know, who's going to go ahead and tell us the appetizer of choice today. And that might sway me, and I might actually prepare some appetizer up today. So that's going to be good. Guys, I am finishing up, okay? And what I'll do for you is I will end up taking it. Boom, boom, boom. I will end up taking it. I'm looking at my lineup right now, and I got another one, and I am going to do, when we're talking about me with my lineup right now, I've got Minshew at quarterback. I'll put it up for you guys. Hang on a second here. I like trying to put up what I'm doing so you guys can kind of see the whole deal here. And if I can go like I want to here. Come on with me. Okay, here we go. Guys, here's kind of what I'm doing here, okay? I haven't filled it out because I wanted you guys to join me, but I told you what I was going to do. I told you I was going to go Minshew on that. I told you I was going to start Minshew on that, okay? I told you I was going to have a running back from Fournette in there, right? But I'm also going to want to put in there, just as we were talking about, Kerryon Johnson here at $5,100 for another running back up there. Wide receivers, as we're talking, Joe, who are we talking about on them wide receivers, Joe?
I mean, I saw Cooper Kupp there. How much is he going for?
Cooper Kupp is at $7,400. Okay?
Okay.
I want to get Chark in. I want to stack this Jacksonville, and I really want to get Chark in here. So let me see what I can do here and where he's at. There he is right there at $6,000, Chark. Boy, look at my look what I'm doing here, okay? Look what I'm doing here. Joe, I see you over here. You're eyeballing that list over there. What do you think, Joe? I got to get a couple wide receivers in here.
Yeah, man.
I'm running out of money quick, Joe.
You know, I like Lockett. How much is T.Y. Hilton?
T.Y. Hilton's going in at 5,900.
That's pretty cheap for T.Y. Hilton, John.
I mean, it is. Do I do it, Joe? Do I pull the trigger on that one?
I don't know, man. He is wide receiver
What
one.
other wide receiver for Jacksonville is going to go off today? The tight end for Jacksonville.
That's what is that guy's name?
Let's see here. Guys, bear with me here because and I can't see what you guys are saying right now when I'm on this full screen like this. So deal with me here for a second.
Yeah, John. That tight end for Jacksonville, Josh Oliver, he's out.
Oh!
So we got to see who the backup tight end is.
Right. Ouch. Let me jump back into these guys real quick here and see what's going on. All right, guys. Joe, thank you for that little catch-up right there telling me that they're out because that's a big deal. Okay, so let me catch up on these guys here. All right, following this, here we go. I appreciate this, guys. I appreciate this. Oh, Ian says, John, you're good, and Dana agrees with Mr. Ian. I don't know what I'm good at talking about food most of the time. I'm good at that. I'll tell you when stuff's really hot. So, Danny, we already got that one. Ian's coming with the appetizers. Here we go. I appreciate that, Ian. Potato skins in... Wait a second. Potato skins in Dr. Pepper after a Bloody Mary.
And Dr. Pepper.
Now, I want to clarify this because that's the thing is that actually sounds awesome. But, Joe, you're thinking he's saying potato skins and Dr. Pepper.
I don't know, man. I've never tried
Could you imagine
potato skins.
actually taking the Dr. Pepper and pouring it over the potato skins and cooking them? Because I do that with my ham in the holidays.
Yeah.
I pour Coca-Cola over the ham prior to me putting it in the oven. But, man, Ian, if that's real, and if it's not, pour your Dr. Pepper over the potato skins and tell me. Just imagine that for a second, that glaze, Joe.
I mean, I think they'd be a little soggy, John, but I'd try it out.
You bake them crispy, man. You bake them crispy. You pour it over before you bake them.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's good. And not in, he said. He clarified. He said not in.
Right.
Okay. Damn it. Dana's going with a papaya salad with about 30 Thai chilies. Now, let me tell you something right now that I will tell you. That is going to be super, super, super spicy. And I think Dana takes pride in the fact that nobody will eat it but her, Joe.
Big ups to you, Dana. I mean, that's impressive. That's very impressive. What kind of peppers are they?
They're 30 chili peppers.
30 chili peppers.
That's getting a little bit carried away, isn't it? I mean, you might have to post this on YouTube where they're eating that. What are those ghost peppers they eat?
Yeah, I was gonna say something like, you want to be real badass? Put 30 ghost. No, actually, that might kill you.
And then what's the other one?
3 ghost peppers.
30 ghosts. Yeah. And then there's another one they got another pepper that's really hot that I've been seeing people eat. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Somebody will know, though. All right, Dana. Wide receiver Hopkins, Dana said. She's putting that out there, I'm guessing, for my DraftKings. And that's a good one, Dana, with Hopkins. They've been spreading the ball out there a lot lately in Houston, haven't they, Joe?
They have. I mean, they're going to Will Fuller. They're going to Hopkins a lot. They're going their tight end.
Yeah.
They're going their running back. That's an offense that definitely shares the ball.
So Dana says she's also going with T.Y. Hilton. He rested up in the bye week, and that'd be great to see him get a lot of touches. Ian's drawing a blank with the Giants wide receiver. Ian is drawing a blank. Giants wide receiver. Joe, can you help him out by any chance?
Well, they don't have many.
That's the thing is, Ian. Yeah. I can't blame you, Ian, for drawing a blank.
Yeah, I don't blame you either. They have, the one I'm looking at, Sterling Shepard, is really their only good one. I mean, I'll look it up here, but I'm telling you, they don't have many. They don't have many.
You know, Dana, that wide receiver Hopkins is good, but you know what I'm going to do is, because I mentioned this in my little draft thing here for the DraftKings on what I wanted to do, and what I mentioned
Golden Tate
was Golden Tate. There you go. Ian, did you hear that? Golden Tate Joe, right?
Yeah, Golden Tate, he's good. He's good.
And
Sterling Shepard, Golden Tate, their main receiver.
Right. So, and Golden Tate can have a good week. You never know, do you, Joe?
Yeah, you never know with him, but he's very fast, very talented receiver.
So, guys, I mentioned it to you guys earlier, so I'm going to go ahead and basically, and there's Golden Tate. If you guys were looking at Golden Tate in this game, wide receiver for the Giants against Arizona, he could have a great day, okay? Danny Jones can get him the ball and have a good day, and you can get him for $5,800. And I still think that's a little bit high for Golden Tate, $5,800. I'm sorry. I know he's a good receiver. It could be because they're playing that Cardinals defense, Joe, that they're giving you that high of a price on Golden Tate.
Right. I mean, the Cardinals secondary that whole defense isn't very good. But yeah, Golden Tate, that's a little too much. I'd go for a cheaper receiver.
So I'm taking Tyler Boyd, just like I said with Cincinnati. He's getting 10 targets per game, which is third in the NFL. I think Andy Dalton's going to get him the ball today, even though he's going to get his ass kicked all over the field. I still believe that he's going to see a lot of touches, Boyd, today. So I am going to take, what happened here? Did I, boom, 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 right there. Boom. Why is it, there it is. There, it went over there. So, guys, I did go ahead and I did take Tyler Boyd in that, and I'll show you just to keep you guys posted on what I'm doing there. I did. I got one more wide receiver I could take, and I think what I'm going to want to do is, Joe, the tight end for Detroit, is he healthy?
The tight end for Detroit? Hawkinson?
Yeah.
I think he is healthy. I think he was healthy last week as well. I think he is healthy, John. I'd start him. I like Hawkinson.
Yeah, and that's going to be my tight end, guys, when I go to my tight end. And if I can find him on here.
Yep,
sometimes
he's healthy.
He's buried. Well, I know he can't come back. He was questionable last week, and I was just wondering because I haven't really checked up on him. I must have passed him up, Joe. Let's see. So. Tight end. Boom, 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 boom. There he is right there. And I'm taking him for $3,600. So, guys, there you go. And you see what I did with my tight end. I've got one more wide receiver, Joe. And I don't need an expensive one. So maybe I should stack another Jacksonville one. Am I thinking that much on Minshew? Am I getting a little bit carried away here? I'm looking at my money as the problem here. I think I'll end up going back and changing some of this. And if you look at my money, guys, I got 17 grand left with 3 positions to fill. I'm doing okay. So, we'll see. So, I really do need to get another wide receiver. And it's what is almost crazy here, Joe. And I'm almost thinking about this. Is Fitzmagic starting today?
Oh God, John, I wouldn't go Miami.
I know it's scary to go Miami, but then again, who were the Buccaneers last year?
Yeah, but the Buccaneers' offense was better than Miami's.
Yeah, but you got Fitzpatrick's jersey in the Hall of Fame last year in them first 4 games from putting up bombs.
Yeah.
He's got nothing to lose, Joe. I told you this before. Nothing to lose. He's probably got one receiver that could probably
Are you
catch
talking
the damn ball.
Devontae Parker? Who are you talking?
Devontae Parker.
Hey, man. Or Preston Williams. I think Preston Williams their top receiver in Miami.
I think I'm going to shy away from it.
Yeah, I would too.
I'll be there with you in thought, but that's about as far as it goes for Fitzmagic. There could be Kool-Aid stains. All right, let me jump back to the comments right here. Here we go, drawing the blanks. Okay, thank you, Joe. Joe knows. Joe did tell you about Tate over there. Here we go with Shepard was who I was thinking of. Okay, there you go. Ian, forgot about Tate also. Okay. Dean. Joe, did you hear that?
Is that Dean?
I went to say Dana with a capital D.
Oh,
and I said Dean. Yes. Dana is talking Fitzy. Dana's talking Fitzy. I mean, where, Dana? Where do you want? Where, Dana? Where? Fitzy, where? Dana, I would love to see you put Fitz in one of your lineups. I would love to see you put Fitz in one. Actually, I probably will put him in one of mine. I'm going to. That's what I'll do for him, Joe. Well, he's not going in this one, but Fitzy's going to go in one of my lineups.
I like it, John.
He is going to be the quarterback in one of my lineups. Ian, I would take Shepard because somebody has to get the ball. You're right, Ian. What do you think about that, Joe?
I like it. It's either Shepard or Golden Tate.
I mean, Danny Jones. Danny Jones is going to throw the ball today, and somebody's got to catch it, Joe.
Yeah, and they're going against the Cardinals, so it's probably a good start. Yep.
And Dana's coming back and saying Arizona will rule the school today. I would take Fitzy wide receiver. Okay, Fitzgerald. You know, Dana, when you're talking Fitzy, I'm thinking Fitzpatrick, okay? It's the only Fitzy I've been talking about, but the future Hall of Famer Fitzgerald. Hello? We play to win the game. Of course I would go Fitzy.
I'd go Fitzy, too. I mean, going against the Giants secondary, and Fitzy's Kyler Murray's #1 target, so I'd go Fitzy as well.
Wow. You know what, Dana? I think Dana just now gave me my pick there, Joe, as my wide receiver.
Oh, there you go.
I think she just gave Dana. Thank you, Dana. Because, I'm going to throw this up like this. Watch this. Boom. How you like that? Okay. Dana, thank you on that. Where is Fitzgerald? There he is right there. Man, that's kind of a tag on him. He's got quite the price tag on him. Now I'm really coming down. Who the hell did that? I didn't take that in a flex. Who the hell automatically picked my flex like that? I did not take that as a flex. Anyway, let's get rid of that flex. It was actually a good flex one that just got automatically picked for me, Joe.
Who was it?
Kittle.
Oh, Kittle. Well, that's good. Depend. How much is he?
6,700. That's bad news but here's the thing. That leaves me with $4,500. Okay. So when I go into that, I can really take the Bills to shut down Miami, or I can take those 49ers against Washington. You know what? I am going to do that. Boom. And there it is. So when I just did that left me right there. Let's do this. Okay, that left me with only $400. That's a pretty good lineup for me, guys. So, guys, if you're looking at my first lineup that I did today in DraftKings, now, guys, just remember this right now. I am a risky guy. Joe, you can second that.
Yeah, I could second that.
I'm a risky guy. So, guys, don't send me hate mail. But look what I'm doing here today, okay? I've got Minshew as my quarterback. Fournette as a running back. Kerryon Johnson as a running back. Wide receivers starting out with Chark. So I'm starting to use and stack that, Jacksonville Jaguars here. I've got Tyler Boyd I put in there for wide receiver because the Rockets got to throw the ball to somebody. We know that. He's going to throw the ball 35-plus times. The Rocket, he's done it every game this season. And Tyler Boyd has the third most targets in the NFL per game. So, yeah, I put Tyler Boyd in there. Fitzgerald, thank you, Dana, for giving me Fitzgerald there because we know what's going to happen today. We know that Kyler Murray's going to get the ball to Fitzgerald. He trusts him. He trusts the future Hall of Fame veteran there, and who wouldn't? Tight end right here, I also put in Hawkinson. So, guys, I got two Detroit guys here. What does that tell you I'm thinking today? Okay. My flex is to Kittle's. George Kittle with San Francisco. There's my flex. And then my DST is the 49ers that I got for $4,100. Guys, I like my lineup, and if you are with me right now, first, before I go and hit the enter button, I want to hear some feedback on this and see what you guys think about my lineup here. Let's see what the feedback is here, Joe, on these guys. All right, here's my feedback. Dana's already telling me some maybe stuff here. maybe you should pick your defense, the Vikings.
Oh, wow.
Save you some money. Dana. That Vikings defense today is going up against none other than the man. Okay? And I'm telling you right now, Stafford is the man. He's got some weapons. They're going to run the ball. The Vikings defense could be in trouble today. The points are going to be there. You know that. The points are going to be there. And that Detroit defense I like. Joe, talk to me. Detroit defenses. Last year, I expected more, Joe. I expected more out of that former Patriots defensive coach. I expected more from Patricia last year. But this year, wow, Joe.
Yeah, this year, they're looking good. Darius Slay, they got a shutdown corner. I like their safeties. I like their D-line. They're a good defense, and I think Kirk Cousins is in trouble today, John.
Hey, the biggest opposing threat, Dana, okay, to Detroit, the biggest opposing threat is the referees. That's his biggest opponent today. Detroit's biggest opponent today, the one that has the most effect on Detroit. And we've seen this time and time. We can go way back to Megatron. We can go to Herman Moore, okay? I can go on and on with Detroit. Detroit's games have been so horribly officialized that it's changed rules in the off seasons on more than one occasion, guys. That's next behind the New Orleans Saints, okay? But the biggest opposing threat to the Detroit Lions today is the refereeing, Joe. Now, Joe, if I was an NFL player, I'd be fine.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they're playing against two teams today, John, the refs and the Vikings. And, I do feel bad for you guys and the Saints as well. So
Dana, I mean, what, you got a cousin that's a referee? You keep going this Minnesota thing? Yeah. And then you got cousins with who? Kirk Cousins is who? Okay? Dana, what's going on here? Is there something I should know, Dana? If you've got inside information, Dana, let me know. Because I'm a little bit shaky on that one. So no, Dana, I'm not going to save my money. I got $400 left that I like what I picked. But then Dana comes back. First, Ian says, I like that lineup. Good, Ian, and thank you, Ian. Dana comes back and says, I'm going to play your lineup too. Thank you. I might buy you a sandwich. A sandwich. I like that. Ian, Detroit actually should have 2 more wins. But like John said, the refs. Yes, Clay Matthews agrees. Isn't that something, Joe, that Clay Matthews comes out and talks about how Detroit Green Bay game went?
Yep, and then he gets fined like 12
He gets fined.
Yeah,
he wasn't even on any of the teams that were playing.
It's ridiculous.
But Clay Matthews comes out. What do you think that says about Clay Matthews' relationship with the Green Bay Packers and how he is no longer with the team?
Yeah, right. I mean, we know there's some bad blood there, but I mean,
it sounds like it.
Yeah, and I like it how, players are stepping up. They don't care. They make so much money. 12 grand's nothing to them. But I like how players they're stepping up and they're saying, look, the league needs to make a change. And I thought it was changed, but it's apparently not.
The only thing I would like them to do, I know they make plenty of money. The fines don't bother them, okay? If they're going to speak up and say, I don't care, I'm going to take that $12,000, $15,000 fine. The only thing I would say to do instead of that, because I got all that money, is keep your mouth shut and donate your money to the Sports Static Sports Show, Joe, I said.
Yeah, that'd be good.
We'll give it a portion of it to your best donations. We'll give a portion of it away to, whatever donation you want. And keep your mouth shut and send the money right over here to Sports Static, Joe.
Hey, that would be awesome, man. That'd be great to get that money.
So, Matthew Zuzula. What a great last name. Matthew Zuzula. Joe, do you know a Matthew Zuzula?
I don't, but it kind of sounds like you scare someone, like Zuzula. Like you scare someone, you know what I'm saying? I like that last name,
Is it
man.
Zuzula or Zozula? And either one's great, Matthew. But I would only refer to you by your last name. I'll just let you know that right now. Zozula or Zuzulu. I think it's Zozula. I would only... Hey, Zozula! Hey, Zozula! What up, bud? I mean, great last name. He says, what's up? And then there's Larissa. Larissa Zozula. We got a family occasion going on here, and I'm just going to let you know right now, that is a great last name. Dana comes up and says, love you guys. Tell Liz I love her too. Dana, are these your peeps? And Dana, if it is, I don't know if it's Zozula or Zuzula. If it's Zuzula, do me a favor in the comments, put a whole bunch of O's if it's Zoo, okay? And if it's Zo, just repeat it with just the one O. But, oh, here we go, Zulu. Matthew,
oh, stop.
That is great. And Dana says best friends. Yep. I thought me and Joe were. Joe, I thought we were Dana's best
What the
friends.
hell?
Joe, I thought we were Dana's best friends.
Hey, man. I thought we were too.
Bump on it. Zo Zula. That's an awesome last name. Welcome to the show, guys. What are you having for appetizers today? Zula? Zulu. All right. I will get your name exactly right on the next show, I promise. Do you guys mainly do daily or season long? Mainly daily, weekly, right, Joe?
Yeah, weekly. And we talk about every team.
Yeah.
And guess what? We're going to the NBA too if you're NBA fans.
NBA starting up here, guys.
NBA starting
our
up.
Thursday night football show that goes on at 7:30, we may be bumping it to 7, and it's going to be a 1-hour show, and we're going to go right in with a brand new show, on a brand new NBA show, guys. It'll be an hour long. So, guys, Thursday night's going to be pretty exciting. Having 2 back-to-back shows, one with the NFL and one with the NBA. So thanks for bringing that up, Joe, and reminding me that.
Yep.
Because, Joe, I know you're looking forward to the NBA stuff.
Oh, I love the NBA. I'm looking forward to watch those Lakers, man, with LeBron.
Yep, buddy. Yeah, buddy. So Dana is saying that's her Las Vegas family. So welcome to the show, guys. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're 11:42 into the show. Usually we're right about this mark before we start laying out the picks of the weeks. So, guys, if you want to join in with us for the picks of the week. Joe, we're going to start throwing this down right now. So, guys, if you got any comments or anything going on, comment in the section as we go. Follow along with us. Let me check out one more thing here before I cruise through this. I'm trying to check out one of our other platforms, guys, because I just don't want to miss anybody. Boom, boom, boom. Sorry. Okay, good to go. All right, Joe, here we go, moving right through the picks. Here we go, starting off the 1 o'clock games, guys. Joe, the Dolphins are at the Bills. Do I even have to ask?
Is
Joe?
this even a question, John?
It's a question.
Oh, man.
It's got a very faint question mark. It's faint. You can barely see it, but it's a question.
It's a question, but Miami's losing this one.
Miami's losing this.
And it'll be bad. The Bills are going to take it, man.
Yeah. We had somebody here, Matthew, saying go Knights go. I like that. Joe knows basketball. Yeah, Joe knows basketball. And the Lakers, yes.
Yep.
I'm a big-time basketball guy, too. I wanted a basketball show the last 2 years, and I couldn't find anybody. And then I ran into this cat right here who said, I know basketball. I said, Joe knows. Joe knows. So there it is right there. And, Joe, I'm excited. You know why? I hate to go back into the NBA right now. Joe, we got a couple other guys that I've really been trying hard to get to come on to an NBA show. Very knowledgeable and very fun. And I will be outnumbered. I'll be the old guy on the show, I'll tell you that. They're your age and they love basketball.
Oh, that's awesome. We need to get them on, man.
It could be fun. Okay, guys, I took my I almost said Miami. I took the Bills in this one too. And I know I thinking I'm Fitzmagic. All right, guys, talk to me, Dana. Talk to me, Matthew. Talk to me, Ian. Who else we got? Talk to me, Larissa. Everybody, Zane, if you're still in, not sure. We need everybody. Who else do we got here to talk to us? I want to know your picks right here. So we got Miami. Miami is at the Bills. Joe takes the Bills. I take the Bills. Dana takes the Bills. Smart move, Dana. Moving along here. Joe. You have the Vikings at the Lions, Joe. Come on, Joe.
Well, hey, John, I'm right with you on this one. I like the Lions. Defense looks good. If it wasn't for the refs, I guess the refs don't like Detroit. I don't know what it is, but I like Matthew Stafford, Kerryon Johnson have big games. Vikings defense is good. I think this is going to be a very close game. Might go overtime. And I'm actually going to make a bold prediction here, John. This game goes overtime.
Wow.
Matthew Stafford comes back.
Fourth quarter drive.
Fourth quarter.
I'm sorry.
No,
Overtime
drive. Back of the end zone, Kenny Golladay. Game over. Refs can't take that one away.
You hope not, Joe.
No.
You hope not, but man, what an opposing team to have when you're facing the referees. Dan is going Vikings. I took the Lions as well, Joe. You know that. Ian took the Lions. There you go, Ian. All right. And Ian took the Bills. There you go, all the way across the board on that one. Looks like Geronimo and MVS is playing, so Lazard isn't as sneaky of a play, Joe. You hear that?
Oh, man. I might have to change my lineup. I actually started them. So that's good to know, John. I like how you brought that up.
Yeah, that's from Matthew.
I'm going to have to change my lineup right now.
Larissa took the Vikings. Larissa, you're taking the Vikings just because your best friend Dana took the Vikings. And so now I can tell who's been a bad influence on you in your life, okay? I'm sure right now you sit at a bar and Dana's next to you. Come on, one more shot. Actually, hey, let's do some Jägermeister. I can tell right now, Larissa, who's the bad influence in this relationship right here. Or was it you, Larissa? They got Dana with a capital D to go Vikings. Larissa? Oh. Anyway, Joe, the Jaguars are at the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm definitely going Jacksonville. As we said, this defense is going to, I hope Dalton does not get injured this game because they're
real
coming
quick,
after
gotta
him.
cut you off. Sorry, joke. Sorry, Guy McVeigh. It's about time you joined the show, Guy. And I wanted to ask you, and I tried asking you in weeks prior, Guy, how you became a cheesehead. Joe, I hate to do this to you right now, but I've been waiting for this guy to come on here. I know he's from New York. He should be a diehard Giants fan, okay? And I'm talking to you, Guy McVeigh. But instead, he's a cheesehead.
Oh, he's a cheesehead.
Now, I did this with Parade Pint last week, but now I'm going to pull it up here. Check this out. Check this out. Now, Guy, I feel bad right now, Guy. But, Guy, how did you become a cheesehead? I just had to... Hanging low. Did you hear that? That's one right out to you, right there. Hanging low. No pun intended on that. Hanging low. You hear them lyrics? Anyway, are you sure you didn't jump on one of these wagons here, Guy? I mean, you were born and raised in New York, I said. In Beacon, New York, about an hour outside of the city. Now, come on now. How did you become a cheesehead? You probably had a horrible influence, influencing maybe your younger brothers into becoming cheeseheads too. I don't know what happened, but there's one for you guys. This is for all the bandwagon people out there. This is for you. And hey, if you're on the bandwagon, guys, question yourself. Question yourself. Joe, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Hey, you're good.
I had to put that up there, Joe.
Hey, well, Guy, I want to tell you this. I love the Packers as well. You know I love the bad man, John. You know I love Aaron Rodgers.
I know.
I think Aaron Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks
But that's
ever.
not your team.
No, he's not my team, but I like the bad man.
I know you do. I know you like the bad man. Hey, that's good, but I did cut you off, Joe. Hate to do that, but when I saw that guy, oh, listen to this. And then he responds. Here he is. Guy said, I knew better. That's why he became. But Guy, you're saying that you knew better, and that's how you became a cheesehead. But there were eras. There were eras. Guy, you had 2 Super Bowls even with Eli Manning. And you go in time before that, think about those. You had errors with Sims as your quarterback. Phil Sims, all right? You could have very well been a New York Giants guy there. So you knew better. We need work, he says. King is horrible. You hear that? He's calling King horrible.
That's funny. I agree with you.
Yeah. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, it is sad.
But anyway, hey, I don't know. Watch out for wide receiver 13. Wide receiver 13.
Are you Devontae Adams? Is that Devontae Adams?
Is it?
Is
you
he
talking
13?
Devontae Adams there, Guy? I have to know. Okay, so I got to fly back up. Guy, by the way, what is up? Okay?
What's up, man?
I actually know Guy, and I haven't seen or talked to this guy in years. But thanks for joining the show, man. I do appreciate you, brother. All right, scrolling up here because I missed some stuff. Okay, Dana's putting a shh mark up about her being the bad influence. Ian takes Jacksonville.
Yep.
And let me go back to you, Joe, because I did cut you off when you were talking about that game of the Jaguars and the Bengals. Sorry.
Yeah, so I think Jaguars are going to get at Andy Dalton. That defense is just really good, really fast. They're probably going to blitz him. And as I said, I hope he doesn't get injured. And AJ Green's not even back yet. So it's disappointing, and I feel bad for Andy Dalton. Yeah, Jaguars have taken it.
I like it. Larissa says she's also from North Dakota. Take that, Vikes. Is that what happens in Dakota, that you go for the Vikings? Because that's interesting. I never thought of it that way. Like, I mean, what do you do? Where does the line split where you go Vikings or Seattle when you're up there in that area way north like that, and you don't got a team? Where do you split? Where does the line split of becoming a Seattle fan or a Vikings fan? That's a good question for you guys out there. Dana says Jacksonville for sure. I got you down on that one. All right. Hey, how about this one for you, cheeseheads? How about this one for you, Guy? You damn cheesehead. Do you actually have a freaking cheese hat like it's a piece of cheese? You better not, dude. You better not. Here's one for you right now, guys. Raiders are coming in for the Packers, Joe.
I like this game. I think it's going to be a tough game for Green Bay, but I still got the bad man Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay Packers winning this game. You're not going to see me picking against Green Bay very often, man. I like Aaron Rodgers. I think the Raiders' defense is much improved. I know you're real high on that one cornerback. Is he back, John?
I don't know. Actually,
Abrams?
Yeah, I don't know if he's back. We got to check that out.
Right. Well, I'll tell you this. Pharrell on the Raiders, they got a solid defense. I love Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs. I think John Gruden's a great coach. So, but I still have the Green Bay Packers winning this one.
Interesting, Joe, because everything you said just solidified the fact for me, something. Everything you just now did, you barely talked about Green Bay. I mean, everything you just did, Joe, you just went total Raiders. You barely talked Green Bay, Joe.
Well, I'll tell you, I think Green Bay, right, watch out for Devontae Adams this game. Especially if Abrams isn't playing, I say watch out for Devontae Adams, and Aaron Jones are having a great year. Also, if you guys need a handcuff, I'd go Jamal Williams. We saw him last week. Jamal Williams been getting a ton of volume, a ton of touches. So I would go Jamal Williams, and I'm taking the Packers, man.
Okay, I like it. Jones is running hard. That comes from Guy. Jones is running incredible. And that's what, to me, really makes the Green Bay Packers dangerous right now, is the fact that they have such an impressive running game that we haven't seen in a while with them. And when you got a quarterback, I said this earlier in the show, and what I said earlier in the show, what frustrates me is when teams with great quarterbacks throw the ball 40-something times instead of slowing everything down with the running game. Now, when you have that great running back, you should be having your great quarterback on the field for longer periods of time, running that clock and controlling the time of possession. That's what wins you football games. It keeps your defense rested so that when your defense gets on the field, they can dominate, have a better chance of going 3 and outs, okay? So that's what I really think about that one. Let's see. Ian went with Green Bay. Okay. Who else do we got here? Dana, Raiders. She says, hi, Gruden, and she puts some hearts on there and everything like that. Wow, Dana's really got it. She's really got it bad for Chucky, don't she? I'm not doing my Chucky impersonation this time.
No.
I'm not. I got to get the Buccaneer hat to do the Chucky impersonation right, because I don't have Raiders paraphernalia, Joe. I don't.
No. Well, you do a good Chucky, John. I do enjoy watching you do it.
Do you got impersonation, Joe?
No.
You don't have any?
I mean, you gotta give me some names. I can't do a John Gruden.
We'll find one for you. I've got a couple of them, but
I could do a couple touchdown celebration dances.
Yeah?
I'll tell you that. I got a mean salsa. Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. I got some salsa in my game, too.
Well, that's good.
Hell, I got a little bachata in that game, too.
Hey, man.
Very basic beginner level, but it's there. I can do, Joe, an Antonio Brown impersonation.
The bozo.
Yep. I can do the Antonio Bozo Brown impersonation. Okay?
Yeah.
You ready for it?
Yep.
Here it comes. My Antonio Brown impersonation. Let me quiet everything down here for a second. Okay? Guys, here comes my Antonio Brown Bozo Antonio Brown Bozo impersonation. I've been working on this one for weeks. Here you go. That's my Antonio Brown Bozo. Antonio Bozo Brown. Sorry, guys. I had to bust that out for you. That's my Antonio Brown Bozo impersonation. I mean, I had to give it to you, and there it is. So I got a couple more up my sleeve, Joe, and we'll get into those. That is the Antonio Brown Bozo impersonation. Let me go over to the stats real quick here, or to the comments real quick. I want to keep you guys going. So Dana has Gruden. Matthew's coming back, and what's he saying here? Which game is the biggest lock? Green Bay at home over Oakland, San Francisco on the road over Washington, Jacksonville on the road over Cincinnati. That's tough right there, but I wouldn't say for sure, Matthew, that it would be that Green Bay game. I would not say that it'd be the Green Bay game. Let's see. Washington game. I mean, Jacksonville over Cincinnati would be one, Joe. I don't know. How about you?
I think the 49ers game's a lock, and I think that Jacksonville's game's a lock.
Yeah. I think the same. 49ers, definitely a lock over Washington. Washington's horrible, guys. Cincy's not much better. But I think you're right, Joe. Absolutely on those. Guy comes back. Guy McVeigh. The Smith boys are great, but pass coverage needs work.
The Smith boy, who exactly is? There's a lot of Smiths in the NFL, man.
I would guess he's probably still talking Green Bay.
Green Bay
cheesehead guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right, man. They are. They're good, real fast, cover well. I like Green Bay, man. I always like Green Bay. Always.
Okay, and then Matt says, go Bucks, but time to move on from Winston. Matt,
Yep,
I've been
right.
calling for Winston's removal for 2 seasons. We already know what we'd have. Well, most of us seem to know. But then you get these other idiots out there that still don't seem to get it, that think we should keep him. And I'm sorry, but you're going to see the same thing. Here's a week off. Okay, right now, a week off. Problem is, we don't got a backup quarterback. But to me, you know what we did? We lost out big time because we lost the value in Jameis. We get 0 for this guy next year, and we're not going to have him. If we do, I've lost faith in the organization. I did a little bit this year. I thought for no reason. I thought very easily, instead of giving him $20 million this year, we should have, from the minute the season was over, we should have immediately used that money and started shopping quarterbacks. Who knows? Who knows? We could have had Nick Foles here. Now, I know Nick Foles is hurt and what's happening and everything like that, but you never know what's going to happen, and that can be week in and week out. But anyway, I agree with you 100% on that. Larissa says, do the Chucky, and she says, LOL, I need to see this. The Chucky one? Larissa, I can't show it. Joe, I showed it. Larissa, you got to go to last week's show and find our last. Was that Thursday night I did Chucky?
Yeah, it was Thursday.
It was Thursday?
Yep.
Week 7 Thursday, you can go find it. I've got to come. If I do Chucky again, Larissa, it's going to be in. I got to add more elements to it, like a visor, that he wore before or something. Okay. Spot on with the AB that Ian says. Spot on with the AB. Thank you. Let's see. The problem is he was extended. Light was extended. Yeah, our GM over here is also one that I'd like to see changed here in Tampa. Can you agree with me on that?
Oh, I can agree. And I can agree that Jameis Winston needs to go. And everyone who's viewing this, if you don't know, I'm a huge Bucks fan.
Right.
Always been a big Bucks fan. And it is disappointing, man. We have so much talent. And I don't know if you guys have heard or the rumors, but we might get rid of O.J. Howard. I don't want to get rid of O.J. Howard.
I don't want to get rid of him either.
Even though we do have Cameron Brate.
I don't want to get rid of him.
And to hell with trading him to the New England Patriots. My guy, that's the rumor, John. I can't believe that.
How in the world are you going to do that? That
I don't
is
know.
horrible
I hope you don't.
choice, because he will be successful when he goes somewhere, guys. There's an issue going on right now, and I'll tell you right now, the issue is the quarterback. Matthew then says in the Glazer houses, the Glazers need to sell the team. I disagree with that. I'll tell you what. Here's the problem, Matt, that I have with that. Tampa Bay has a problem, okay? I mean, the only way if you get the owner of the Lightning, it'd be different. But we're a melting pot in Florida. You can have a horrible team and still sell the seats at a football game because everybody wants to see Green Bay come here because there's so many people from Green Bay. Everybody wants to see Detroit come in. So many from Detroit. You look at just our division in itself. Carolina. There's so many people here from Carolina. There's so many people here from Georgia. Okay? I mean, there's so many people here from Atlanta, from New Orleans. I mean, you don't have to have this great team here to sell the tickets in our stadium, and that's the problem that I have. I'm going to hope and think the Glazers want another Super. A lot of teams have never had a Super Bowl ring. Okay? I'm going to hope the Glazers. I mean, they brought in Bruce Arians. You guys can't knock Bruce Arians as a great coach. You can't. It's just, he's got 7 games. This is his bye week. 7 weeks in. He's got 6 games into this. So, I'm not there yet with you. Winston and Mariota, Ian says, was a bad quarterback draft, and I'll agree with you there. I do. I agree with you there. All right, we got to move along here. Shift some gears here. So, as far as the Raiders go, I got the Packers Ian took. We got Dana took the Raiders, and Joe took the Packers. Let's see here. What can I do? I know exactly what I can do. My upset alert, guys. My upset alert. And if you guys don't consider this an upset, I don't know. I consider this an upset. The Raiders with Chucky are going into Green Bay. I wrote this down yesterday, okay? They're going to have a run game against him. You're finally going to see Carr come alive today. Watch out. Chucky, yes, I said it, Dana, with a capital D. Chucky coming into Green Bay. They're going to tear them up, okay? There's going to be some turnovers. I am seriously looking for this as my upset of the week. I'm going Raiders. Joe, you think I'm crazy. I can tell, but
No, I don't, John.
You think it's a good upset pick?
I think it is a good upset pick, but I think I have a better one, John.
Well, let's wait till hold that for me.
Let's
when we
wait
get
a little
there.
bit.
I'm interested.
Yep.
I'm extremely interested if you've got another one. So hold your thought for me, Joe, please. Here we go. Moving along, guys. What do we got here? Rams are at the Falcons. Man, this is a tough one, Joe. A tough one, Joe. Rams are at the Falcons.
John, it's like you read my mind, man. Do the upset, man.
There it is, guys.
There it is.
Rams at the Falcons. Joe, talk to me.
Hey, you guys might think I'm crazy, but the Rams, 3-3, they dropped some games. I think Jalen Ramsey coming back, huge matchup against Julio Jones. I think he gets burned, man. I think Jalen Ramsey, he's going to talk trash, eat his words, get burned. That's what's going to happen. I think Matty Ice has a huge game. I think Devontae Freeman has a big game. Falcons upset against the Los Angeles Rams.
Joe, I got to tell you, that was my other upset.
Yeah.
Right there. I wrote that down yesterday as well. Matty Ice, in times needed to be, guys, can be just as cool. Quoted by the late, great Stuart Scott. Matty Ice. Cool is the other side of the pillow. I'm looking for a huge running game today, Joe.
Yep.
I'm also looking for that inconsistency that we've seen out of the Rams this season. Okay? Falcons are at home. I'm taking the Falcons.
Nice.
So, Joe, I'm with you on that one.
I like it, man.
We're close on our upsets because I know you think the Raiders one is classified as an upset.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely, I believe that's an upset. I think that's a good pick.
And I agree as well. The Falcons, the way they've looked this year, this is also where a lot of people are going to be picking those Rams. So that also is. Dana's taking the Rams. Ian's taking the Lambs. Joe and John, guys, you going to leave us hanging out to dry here like this? We always talk about Joe knows, okay?
Yeah, but hey, man, I think because we're wrong on that Denver pick, they don't want to go with us anymore.
Ian's a little got. Ian went outside without his shoes
Yeah.
and socks on and got a little cold feet on us there. A little bit. We'll get him back.
Yeah,
Joe.
we'll get him.
We'll get him back. But Ian, a little bit. Dana says she loves Devontae Freeman.
Yep.
And changed me mind. Dana's going at Lit. See, we still have that power, Joe. You see how we did that?
Yeah, I like it.
Speaking of fishing, we put it up. And what? And we hooked her and drug her right in there. Dana, you're a pretty fart smeller. I mean, smart feller. I hate when I mix that up, but
Hey, man.
but good one, Dana. So Dana's going Atlanta with Joe and I. And I'll cross you out there, Dana. Joe, I think a very tough game here, Joe. Texans are at the Colts.
Yeah, this is a real tough game, and I think it's going to be a really close game as well. Look, man, I'm picking the Houston Texans, and I say this every week. If they can protect Deshaun Watson, the Texans are going to win. They have a solid run game. one of the best receivers in football, a good receiver core with Will Fuller and DeAndre Hopkins. Look, man, the Colts are good too. And the thing about the Colts and the Texans, which is different, the Colts have the best offensive line in football, I believe. Jacoby Brissett's solid. Marlon Mack's very good. This is a tough pick, but I'm going the Houston Texans.
It is. It's a tough pick, and you know what, Joe? I actually looked at this game a little bit more than I did the other ones because it was so tough. And I mean, because the Colts have a pretty good defense, man. And
yeah.
I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, man, this is pretty tough. And then Brissett, but Watson has taken the game to yet another level. And something very important, okay? There's something very important, and I want to make sure I get my stat right on this. Oh, I remember it without even going back and looking. Guys, guess what? This will sound crazy to you when I tell you, because a quarterback that has been hit the most, sacked on the ground the most, has been Watson. He's been beat up, Joe. But, Joe, do you want to hear something crazy? Watson has not been sacked in 2 games.
Oh, wow. That's surprising, actually.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, that's very surprising.
Look how happy he's been after these games, too. He's running around happy, Joe.
Yeah. Hey, man, you're right, Deshaun Watson. If they protect him, and it is very surprising he hasn't been sacked for 2 games.
And look at what's happened with his game.
Yeah, it's just improved.
This level of his game has come up. Watson is looking incredible as a quarterback right now, guys. I mean, a couple more consistent weeks of that type of play that Watson's been showing us, and we're going to be talking about this guy in a whole different light. We're going to be talking about this guy in a whole different light, and we're going to be talking about the Texans in a whole different light, okay? Watson's looking great. As tough as this was, I went Texans on this, and that says a lot for what I think about Indianapolis. Don't get me wrong, guys. I like the Colts. If it was Andrew Luck right now with the Colts that abruptly retired, if it was Andrew Luck, I'd take the Colts. But it's not. I'm stacking Watson and Hoppy. That's Dana. Dana's stacking Watson and Hoppy. And she says that she thinks it's going to be super close, but she's going Houston. Guy's taking the Texans. Smart move there, Guy. Ian, you're standing alone, Ian, with the Colts on this one. Why, Ian? Tell me. Tell me what you see, Ian, that weren't, I mean, and hey, it's that close on side to side here on that, because I do like the Colts. I like the way Brissett protects the ball. He's not really giving it away. So I'm going to put this down right now. Joe, what do you think about that with Ian taking the Colts there? It's close.
I mean, I think it's a good pick. I think this game's going to be really close. Man, it was a tough pick for me. I just have to go Houston.
I think one of the toughest picks.
Yeah, definitely.
It definitely was one of the toughest picks of the week for me, guys. So
maybe because the Indianapolis Colts are at home. I don't know.
Well, and right there, Joe, you're right. Right away, you're giving up points right there, I feel.
Yeah.
So that could be. Here's a game right here that's an absolute and 100% blowout. If anybody takes the Redskins, I'm going to question you.
Yeah, I'll question you too.
Well, it's going to be a geographic pick because you live with the Redskins, obviously, if you're picking the Redskins. But 49ers are coming to visit the Redskins. Garoppolo, man, I forgot about my flex position guy on the 49ers running back. Joe, how did I do that? That'll be in another one of my picks.
Yeah, Breida and Tevin Coleman.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good duo right there.
And they're going to see the ball and get some yards today. Joe, do I even have to ask you what's going on?
Nah,
here?
I mean, 49ers are taking this one easily.
49ers, and I'm with you on that one too. Guys, the 49ers look good right now. The defense has really come to life this year. You had to know you were going to see a good defense in time be built in San Francisco when you have John Lynch as the GM there. They came from one of the best defenses in football in this era, where we've seen that Tampa 2 defense that a lot of teams picked up on. John Lynch built a defense. He's not doing too bad on the offensive side of the ball either. San Francisco for Ian said because of home field. It is why he took the Colts, by the way. Okay, so Ian's going San Francisco, the 49ers. Dana's going the 49ers. Joe, you're liking that. I mean, well, at least we know that our viewers are not on large amounts of high-octane drugs. At least we know that.
I don't know, man. Some of them seem like they party hard.
Party hard?
Yeah.
I don't know. Was there a party last night, Ian? Guy, I haven't talked to you in a long time. Was there a party last night? I don't know. Joe, I don't know.
I don't know either. I partied. I had fun.
You partied last night?
Well, I mean, I had a little house party.
A house party?
Yeah.
All right. Was there some good music involved?
I was pretty much just
chill?
Just the UCF game, and the Lightning were playing, and the Yankees. So
yeah. And the Yankees got taken out by the Astros. So it's the Astros in Washington Nationals in the World Series. Astros are going to have another World Championship, Joe.
I agree with you. I think so too, John.
Can you believe Washington gets rid of Bryce Harper?
I know.
And then they go to the World Series the very next year.
How crazy is that?
I mean, that is crazy, isn't it?
Crazy, man.
Joe, I ended up watching all the same games you did too. Last night. Yeah. I also was watching the Michigan Penn State game.
Did Penn win that one?
I checked in before it was over, but it wasn't looking good for Michigan.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. Somebody else might be able to tell me. But anyway, Joe, from what I see here, we got everybody going the Niners on that one. Dana and Ian are doing that. Joe, here you go. Cardinals are at the Giants. I think this is, Joe, I happen to think this is a tough pick with the Cardinals at the Giants.
I do too.
Danny Jones can go off. You already talked about Golden Tate. Okay, can go off. They could have a running game here today with Barkley coming back.
Yeah,
so, Joe, this is a tough game. I'm sorry, but Cardinals have no defense.
Right, and that's the main reason why I believe the Giants are going to beat the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals' run defense isn't good. Pass defense isn't good. So I think Saquon Barkley has a huge game, man. He's definitely a must start. And Danny Jones, I think, has a good game. I think he hits Sterling Shepard. I think he hits Golden Tate. Even Evan Ingram. The Cardinals, I like Kyler Murray. You guys know how high I am on Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray has a big game as well. I'm starting him in fantasy. So, and Fitzy, I think Fitz has a good game, man, but I'm taking the Giants at home.
Wow. There was two games that I had not previously picked before today. Only two of them, guys. This is one of them. This is the one game, and you guys know I typically do this on my show. I need you guys to poll me one way or the other. I'm seriously on the fence here, but here's what I'm going to do, okay? Because I'm so on the fence right now, first and foremost, what I want to do, Joe, you know what I want to do, right?
Yeah.
I want to take a look, guys, deep. And when I say deep, guys, I'm not talking I'm gazing. I want to look deep into the hourglass. Beautiful skies. Let yourself go with me, guys. Look deep into the hourglass. And what do I see in this hourglass? Is that Barkley? Is that Barkley? Stiff arming and high stepping? No, it's not. Barkley's hair's not that long. That's Larry. That is Larry Fitzgerald I'm looking at in my hourglass. And Barkley getting few touches. Huh. But then look, there he is. Danny Jones. Look at the smile on this guy's face. Looking like he just won a big game. Guys, I don't know. It's back and forth. My clarity is just, it's not picking this up, guys. It's still two back and forth. Joe, I'm not sure the hourglass is doing it for me on this one.
Oh, you taking, John?
I don't know. I want the fans to try to help me out here a little bit. Guys, one way or the other, poll me one way. Ian, say New York. Dana, Dana, are you telling me to take the Cards on this one? Because I was so close on that one. Dana's telling me I'm going to go with Dana. I'm going with Dana on this one, Joe. Joe, I am. I did see in my crystal ball there, I did see Larry Fitzgerald, man.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Cardinals there. I needed that separation. That was the hardest one right there. I got to tell you right now, Joe, that was the hardest pick for me. And Ian took the Giants with you. You're not alone there. All right, guys, moving along here, and thank you for the help. Thank you, thank you. Moving right along here. Here's one for you. Guys, actually, we're moving into the 4 o'clock games here. The Chargers are at the Titans. I'll lead it off right away for you. I took the Chargers in this one, Joe.
I agree with you. So did I. I think Phillip Rivers, I think the Chargers bounce back, man. The Chargers have a good defense, solid defense. Melvin Gordon's playing. The Titans, Marcus Mariota just got benched for Ryan Tannehill. That tells you something. I guarantee that locker room is probably malfunctioned, just not even in their right minds right now. So I'm taking the San Diego Chargers to win this in Tennessee.
Joe and John agreeing on this one. I'm taking the Chargers as well. The Chargers could be explosive at any given time. That's who they are. Ian's taking Tennessee. Ian, Tannehill, Joe, Tannehill looked good last week. You got to say he did.
Yeah, he did.
And this guy came off the couch. And when he came off the couch, he came in there, and I think he missed like 4 passes. He looked pretty good.
Yeah, he did look pretty good. He's just going to have to show me more, man. It's just, I guess it's too early right now. So I liked him in Miami. I got to go with San Diego.
I do too, and Dana agrees. She's going Chargers, but she feels it's going to be close.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a close game too, but Phillip Rivers and the Chargers, guys, here's a stat for you. Check this out right now. Let me tell you something about the Chargers, okay? Their last 11 games on the road, they've won 9. I'm just saying.
Wow.
So the Chargers are like the best team on the road. And you heard what happened to them at their home game last week. It's like they don't even have a home. They don't. And that's why they're so great. Because at their home games, they got all away jerseys there. 9-2, the Chargers on the road in their last 11 games. That's impressive in itself, Joe.
Yeah, and that's a good stat. I didn't even know that. So that'll tell you something to take the Chargers in this one, and I'm taking them.
Here's one for you right now. How about this? Chicago Bears. Okay.
That's a tough game, yeah.
This is a tough game. The New Orleans Saints are going to Chicago to play the Khalil Mack Chicago Bears. Joe, this is a tough one for me. I got the Saints, Joe. I'll put it out there right now. I've got the Saints winning this, and that was this was almost left blank by me because it really is tough because of that defense, and I'm not so sure. I mean, we got to see here. All right, remember now, there's a backup quarterback in New Orleans, and he hasn't seen a pass rush like this yet.
Look, I'm going Chicago Bears pretty much because they're going to be in Soldier Field. It's tough to win in Soldier Field. Teddy Bridgewater, man, Khalil Mack is just, ridiculous.
He's coming after Teddy.
He's coming after Teddy Bridgewater. Pretty much what you have to do against the Saints, you just have to stop Michael Thomas and you have to stop Alvin Kamara. If you could do those two things, I believe you can win that game. The only thing that scares me about this Bears team is that offense. The offense isn't that great. They run the ball a lot. Trubisky, if he nickels and dimes, he's going to be good. If he uses his legs, he's going to be good. Man, this is going to be a close game.
I think.
And I think the Chicago Bears, in my opinion, are going to come out on top.
Close enough that we're splitting it. Dana's going with the Saints. Ian's going with the Bears. And Guy says, unfortunately, Bears. You got a big one there, G. G, what's up? You don't like the Saints? What's up with that, man? You really are a Green Bay Packer fan.
Yeah,
I mean,
really.
you really are a Green Bay Packer fan, G. So, man, I don't know about that, but hey. So we split that one. It is going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a good game as well. The defense for the Bears always scares me, but veteran winning coach there in the Saints. I'm thinking they've got the formula with running the ball enough. I think they got the defense. I think they come away with the win. And close game, though, and a tough game. Bridgewater, Guy says Bridgewater's trash. Joe. I disagree with that.
That's funny. I mean, I don't think he's trash, but I think he's decent. Like he does.
I mean,
win
hey, this
some
guy was doing great and went down with a career-ending injury.
He wasn't bad in Minnesota.
He wasn't.
He's not. I mean, he's not great, but I think
Guy is further proving that he is a true Packers fan. Dude.
Yeah.
he's further proving that. Soft as butter, he says. Come on, G.
Okay, I agree with you there.
Really?
I agree he's soft, but I don't think he's trash.
You guys think he's soft as butter? He's playing in the NFL.
Yeah.
When you're saying soft as butter, are we talking soft spread butter or a stick of butter? Are we talking parquet or margarine?
Talking soft as a baby's bottom. Yeah, I mean, it might just be his face. He got a baby face. You know?
It might. And G comes back and says, you can't do nothing hurt. That is true right there. You can't. But as a matter of fact, Teddy Bridgewater is in for the future Hall of Famer Drew Brees, and he has been doing very well, guys. The Saints are winning with their backup quarterback, okay? Teddy Bridgewater's been putting a nice, deep touch on the ball, okay? And I expect that today. So that Bears secondary better be ready, because if you're blitzing and you're coming with a blitz, be ready. And that's what I think. So kind of another split on that one right there, because actually we got Joe, Ian, and G going with the Bears, and me and Dana went Saints. Wow. So you guys are dominating us over there. Here's another game for you that I believe, Joe, we talked about this one right in the fantasy thing. We've been talking about this game more than any of them, Joe.
Yep.
Ravens versus Seahawks.
This is, I think, is the game of the week.
I left blank, by the way, Joe. I left this one blank.
Right. Okay, well, the team I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, the 12th man at home. Russell Wilson's MVP candidate. The defense is good. If you spy Lamar Jackson, Bobby Wagner, and KJ Wright, as I said, that Chris Carson's going to get a lot of touches. Lockett's good. The Ravens, I'm a huge Lamar Jackson fan. I love Lamar Jackson. I think Mark Ingram has a good game. They don't have that great of receivers, and I think that's going to be, who is Lamar Jackson throwing to? He's not throwing to, the best guys. I have to go Seattle, man. I think Russell Wilson as MVP candidate, I think he takes him to the promised land and gets it win.
A couple of factors here that have played into this. Ian says never Ravens. Fly Seahawks fly. Dana says Seahawks. We'll wait on G on this one. Guys, here's a couple of problems I have here, okay? All right, first and foremost, if you're talking Seattle guys, which I see you guys are going to Seattle, weak secondary for slot receivers. Baltimore, and I'm talking about Baltimore, okay? Baltimore gives up the 4th most points to slot receivers. I mentioned this to you in the beginning of the show as far as a fantasy point of view. So with Seattle's Lockett, the Ravens are allowing 111 yards to slot receivers per game. That's the 4th most in the NFL, okay? So that's where you're going to see damage done in the air with Russell Wilson, okay? But then you're talking about Baltimore, guys. And you're talking about the best running team on the ground since 70. Can Seattle stop that, guys? Can Seattle get on the field enough? And can they stop that intensive running game that Baltimore comes with, Joe?
I think they can. I think the Ravens are probably going to have more time of possession than Seattle. But, man, I just think in Seattle with the 12th man, it's going to be loud for Lamar Jackson. This is a huge test for Lamar Jackson, but I'm going with Seattle.
Wow. Guys, I'm on the fence on this one so bad. But I'm a bigger Russell Wilson fan than I am, and because of the fact that I got Lockett, it's going to have a big game today, and because Baltimore's secondary is so pretty much they're fourth last in the NFL, I got to expect that to be exposed. I really have to expect that that's exposed. I think it's going to be a close game, though. I really do think it's going to be a close game. I'm going with you guys on the Seattle pick there, all the way across the board. Zach joined the show. Zach Spittler. Everett or Hawkinson, PPR. Everett or Hawkinson, PPR, Joe.
Hey, you guys know I love TJ Hawkinson. I'm going Hawkinson, man, because Stafford, the volume Stafford gets, it's increasing every single week. So I'm going Hawkinson. I like Everett too. Don't get me wrong, but Hawkinson, he just gets more receptions, and consequently, it gets more touchdowns as well. So I'd go Hawkinson, my man.
Ian agrees with you and says Hawk. And Ian also says that Clowney will make it a long day for Jackson. 3 sacks.
Yeah, I agree with that, man.
Ian, do you have a crystal ball in there that you haven't told us about? Because Ian's starting to get a little bit deep into this stuff now.
Yeah.
He's got. You agree with me there, Joe?
I do. Yeah. I mean, Clowney. I totally forgot about Clowney. I mean, Clowney's defensive. He's a monster as well.
Hello.
So, yeah.
Yes, he is.
Definitely, Clowney's going to be a huge part in that defense.
The Sunday night football 8 o'clock game. The Eagles are at the Cowboys. I'll tell you right now, I took the Cowboys at home. They have to win this. I'm looking at the matchup. Yeah. It's a tough one for me. Those Cowboys need to win right now. They're at home. Jerry Jones is going to have some stars up there in the suites. What do you think on this one, Joe?
John, we're going our separate ways again. I'm going Philadelphia. I'm going the Eagles. I just think this team has so much talent. I think they're better than what their record says. I think Wentz has a good game, man. He is kind of injury prone, but that defense for the Eagles is good. They have a good defense.
They are good. So, Joe, with that being said right there about that defense for the Eagles, are they going to be able to stop? Are they going to be able to I can't say you're going to stop Zeke, okay? You're not going to stop Zeke, but are they going to be able to slow him down enough that he's not a factor in the game?
Yeah, they'll contain him. I think they contain him, and guess what? If you stop Zeke, if you try to stop him, that's going to get Dak Prescott off his game. We've seen that.
You're right.
We've seen it. If Dak doesn't have Zeke, his numbers go down.
2 weeks ago, he had Zeke and only gave him 12 touches. And Dak threw the ball 44 times. And look what happened. That's ridiculous. I mean, he had amazing stats and yards, but he also made a lot of mistakes. When you throw the ball 44 times, what do you think is going to happen? Your chance of an interception, your chance of everything goes up the more you're doing it, the more you're throwing it. And you can see that with even Hall of Fame great quarterbacks. They threw the ball more than anybody else, but they also had shitloads of interceptions because of it. Still in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. And I think they're throwing a lot of that. They're trying to get Amari Cooper in the game, and guess what? I think he gets shut down. I think he gets shut down today. I could be wrong, but Ronald Darby, they got good corners, good safeties.
You guys all hung me out to dry here.
Yeah.
I took the Cowboys. You know why I took the Cowboys? Because I'm expecting Zeke to have a good game. I'm expecting there was a team meeting. No coaches allowed in the locker room with the Cowboys. You lose 3 in a row. And there's problems and major problems all the way through the organization when you got a team like this. I think the Cowboys are a good team, okay? I think they're poorly coached, and I honestly believe that. They are poorly coached. I've thought this for years about the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not alone with that. And by the way, speaking of Cowboys, okay, Michael Irvin, how dare you say that Antonio Brown should come just even for a couple games? Like, he's going to come in for a couple games and all of a sudden you get a win? You don't want that sorry bozo crybaby on the Dallas. Michael Irvin, I thought you were a little bit more protective of your Cowboys than that. Did you hear that, Joe, when he said that?
Yeah, I heard it. And, I don't really like what he said either. I love Michael Irvin. Think he's a great player. Was a great player. But, yeah, I mean, when you're Antonio Brown and you're, going on Twitter and mocking the owner who's giving you millions of dollars, I mean, go to another country and try to make that money. You're not going to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
It is. Monday Night Football. Guys, Sam Darnold comes off of the mono, comes into a game. Ian, I know what you were thinking on last week. Oh, that wasn't Ian I was thinking of the Jets. But Joe, I know you were looking at that team and thinking, wow. But could this be a potential, it's a division game, could this be a potential upset Monday Night Football at the Jets?
Probably not.
Teams
Probably not.
Buffalo, Miami, and the Jets, they play hard against the Patriots.
Yeah, they do play hard, but, I mean, the Patriots, they're healthy. Michael Bennett's out for this game. I can't go against Brady, man. Especially against the Jets. He did have a bad game. You know why he had a bad game? Because he didn't have much tape on that team. He has a ton of tape on the New York Jets. Let me tell you, no way the Patriots lose this game. No way.
Darnold,
No way.
Le'Veon Bell. If Darnold has another game, Le'Veon Bell starts having a game. They take a couple chances. They get a couple 3-and-outs. Joe?
No. I can't. I can't go against Brady.
The biggest test probably as far as defense goes for Sam Darnold.
Oh, definitely. That defense is good, man. That defense is the best they've been in a while. So.
But he looks like Sam Darnold. Looks like a freaking pro quarterback in the NFL. He looks like a quarterback that's going to be around that you can build a team around. Does he not, Joe?
He looks good, John, but guess what? They did beat the Cowboys 24-22. But, I mean, they just played the Patriots 2 games ago. They lost 30-14.
Without Sam.
Without Sam, I just don't think. I think Sam Darnold's a good quarterback. I just don't think he's going to make, that huge of a difference, especially playing against the Patriots.
Will it at least be a closer game?
No.
You don't think Sam's going to put up more than 13 points?
Probably not. Does that sound bad, John? I mean,
You're actually right, Joe. But
yeah,
it's like you're actually right. Do I want to see a close game in the fourth quarter? Yes. Am I hoping Sam Darnold has another great game? Absolutely. Do I think it's possible? I do, Joe. I do. I think we can see a close game here. Do I think the Jets are going to win? No. No. I don't. I'm taking the Patriots too. What I do want is I want to see a close game. And let's see. Sam, best quarterback out of the bunch. Really, Guy? The best quarterback out of the bunch.
Wait,
so
who's the bunch?
Yeah, who's the bunch there, Guy? I mean, right now at their points in their career, would you take on the Patriots, if you had the Patriots, would you take Sam Darnold? I think he might be saying out of the bunch, out of the newly drafted quarterbacks.
Oh, okay, well...
And I think that's what you're probably saying.
I don't think so, but okay. I mean, I think Lamar Jackson's better than him. I think Josh Allen's better than him.
You do? I don't think Josh Allen is. I think Josh Allen, when you look at his stats, and when we pulled those stats up last week, Josh Allen's stats, He's actually throwing more interceptions than
Okay,
touchdowns. He's actually, his quarterback rating's under 90. I think Sam Darnold is a better passing quarterback. He's actually on his feet too. I'll take Sam Darnold.
He's not better than Lamar Jackson, no. No way.
Better than Baker, yeah. I think right now you can say he's better than Baker. And that's coming from Guy. He's not better than who? Lamar Jackson?
No, he's not. He's not even close.
And I wouldn't say he's better than Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson just because of the fact of the dual threat. Sam Darnold has a great arm, guys. He does have a great arm.
Does.
So, anyway, I thought Washington was going to beat New England. Oops. That's Ian.
Yeah.
Remember that? Ian, don't worry. I make crazy picks, man. All right, so I'm guessing right now. So, hey, Guy, are you going to take the Jets to beat New England? Are you going to be the one that sticks his neck out there to do that?
Don't do it, Guy.
Ian, who are you taking on this? I got to scroll back up here to see. Ian's taking New England.
Yeah, no way.
Dana is probably making her special dip that she was talking about. So Ian's taking New England. Gee, what's up? What are you saying? That you think that the Jets are going to take out New England? Yes? I can only hope. Seriously, G. If you're taking the Jets, man, hats off to you, man. That's the biggest upset this season, maybe.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it, to tell you the truth.
I mean, I'd love to see it too, man. I'd love to see it, but I don't.
Confirm it, G. Say yes, flat out. Say, I'm taking the Jets. Come on, G.
G, if you get this right, you're probably the smartest man alive.
You're right, G. Tell him again, Joe.
If you get this right, you're a genius.
You are a genius. Okay? We're going to start going to you for some picks, G. He did it. He took the Jets. There it is.
Oh, man.
You know, that is what makes it so much fun when you put your neck out there like this.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, you had to put some money on that game, G. You had to put some money on that game.
If man, imagine if you put $1,000 on that game and the Jets came out with a win. Well, you'd make some good money.
You would make some good money.
You'd make some loot, man.
I mean, Joe, are you thinking about putting some money out there?
Not $1,000. Maybe like $50.
50, but I wouldn't even go 50 on it.
$20.
But hey, I'll tell you this right now. If you get this one right, G, we're going to feature you on next week's show, okay, for the sleeper pick of the week. And we're going to go to that right now. The sleeper pick of the week. Sleeping Beauty, we call it, guys. Our Sleeping Beauty. Joe, I'm going to you. Do you have the slip? Because we already know G, and that's why, G, if you get that Jets right, that would definitely be the Sleeping Beauty. And if you get that right, we're going to feature you next week, G, for the Sleeping Beauty. All right? Talk to me. Joe, do you got that Sleeping Beauty, the sleeper pick of the week, Joe?
So my Sleeping Beauty, right next to my upset, it's the Atlanta Falcons, man. I think they're a sleeper in the division. They're last in the division, but they do have a ton of talent on that team. Julio Jones against Jalen Ramsey. I think Julio has a big game. Devontae Freeman has a big game. I love Matty Ice, and I think Matty Ice gets them a win.
Matty Ice gets them a win. I like that one. It's a great one, Joe. That's a great one. My sleeper one is the Packers. I know it's the upset one, but if I were to say one that I didn't pick, and I'm not changing my pick, but the Sleeping Beauty for me is the Miami Dolphins to go up into Buffalo. And the only reason why is because all you Miami fans may have red stains around your lips next week. And it ain't going to be because you've been out kissing the girls. It ain't lipstick. It's Kool-Aid. You're going to drink the Kool-Aid. And I feel bad at what's going on there in Miami. But I will tell you right now, Fitzmagic could very well come alive in Buffalo. And that could very well be my sleeping beauty pick right there. So, Joe, in closing, my friend.
Hey, in closing, game of the week, man. That Ravens game, oh man, that's gonna be a great game right there, John. So Ravens Seattle, I think that's game of the week, and I definitely have Russell Wilson winning it, and he's gonna set the standard for MVP this year, and that's my prediction.
I like that one, Joe. I like it a lot. Guys, I've got something that I'm going to close with here today, and I talked about it early on, but what I really want you guys to pay attention today, and if you're playing any of the, DraftKings, like what you guys saw me fill out my DraftKings, if you're playing that or whatever you're doing, guys, watch out for Minshew with the stash and the Jaguars to have a huge game today. All right? Huge game. Fournette having a huge game. Shark having a huge game. Shark the Shark. Huge game. Who else did we have having that big game that we stacked up there? I'm drawing a blank on that one. But anyway, guys, look out. I'm really looking for the Jacksonville Jaguars to get back where they're smiling and having fun and joking. The mustache is actually coming back. Watch for that game. It's going to be one of the great games. I think another one of the great games, guys, is that Raiders and Packers game today. Yep. Those are both 1 o'clock games. The 1 o'clock games are great, guys, because you also got the Texans at the Colts. I think that's a great game. So there's some good games. And then, of course, when you move into those 4 o'clock games, Chargers, Titans, Saints, Bears, Ravens, Seahawks. Those 4 o'clock games are awesome. Then the 8 o'clock game, hello. Eagles go to the Cowboys, and then the Patriots and Jets. Guys, this is a really, Joe, you said it in the beginning of the program. This is a good week.
Yeah, I love this week. I think this week is probably the best week in football, right? This season. So, I'm sure there's great games coming up, but this is the week. I'm gonna love watching these games, man.
I think Dana took that Arizona as a sleeper pick,
as
a big game. Dana, I don't believe you ever told me your pick for the Patriots and the Jets. Dana, you left the show. But you're back. She was adjusting some lineups. Okay. Huh. All right, Dana, I did not get your pick. The only one I didn't get it for was for the Patriots and Jets. We had one person take a leap. I don't know if you're going to call it a leap of faith, Joe. Is it a leap of faith?
Are you talking about that? Oh, yeah, man.
G
took the leap of faith going to the Jets, and I'll tell you, G, you will be a genius.
G the genius.
G the genius if you get the Jets right.
That's good. That could be his new name on our show.
Yeah.
G the genius.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing what that's all about. Dana did take the Patriots. Guys, what a great show. Thanks to all the fans that came on the show today. That was a really good show. I promise you, I said it to you. The Thursday pick with Murphman will be in, guys. Find Murphman on Facebook. That's how you see it, Murphman. He will be doing a Thursday pick. Producer Dave promised he would be here to help out with that. The production work that's involved with that is not cheesy. But, hey, you guys know it's not easy being cheesy, so stay tuned for that. What else do we got going on here, guys? I want you to make sure, if you want to be part of the show, very important. I've said this to you before. I'm going to say it to you again. Here you go, guys. Be part of the show. Go to lipalive.com/register. When you get there, you will see a register page. Click that register button. You will immediately be sent to another landing page where the direct phone number where you can call the show live and be right on. I'm not going to screen you. Make sure you keep the facts to football. We don't want politics or anything else like that. We want to talk football. We might talk food. Food and football. Is that fair enough, Joe? Food and football?
Jalapenos.
Jalapenos. That's right, guys. Get the nachos going. Put the jalapeno on top of it. Shredded cheese. I like 3 cheeses. Put it in the oven for 10 minutes. Pull it out. Wow. Wow. So anyway, guys, be part of the show for next week. Thursday at 7:30 p.m. is our next show, and we will follow that hour show, guys. New thing coming, Joe. What is it? What's coming next Thursday after the football show?
The NBA show, man. Be ready.
There it is, guys. So, guys, be ready. We're launching the NBA show. So it'll probably still be a 7:30. If anything changes, we will put it out there, and I'll do a live stream to announce it. Be ready for 7:30 football Thursday night, followed by the new NBA show where the hoops are hot. Joe, I'll see you 7:30 p.m. on Thursday, my friend.
I'll see you guys.
Peace out, my friends, and we will see you 7:30 p.m. Enjoy your Sunday football and all the appetizers you can handle, my friends. Peace out.